Hey, what's going on, leaders? This is your leadership coach, Quincy Jackson, here, and welcome back to another episode of Leading Daily. I am so excited to have you with me today. And as always, we're going to dive deep into one of the major skills that all leaders have, and that is critical thinking. So, I have a question for you I want you to ask yourself as I ask it aloud, and that is, do you examine beliefs, assumptions, and opinions and weigh them against the facts of the people that you're surrounding yourself with? Okay. Now, as you take this into consideration, you want to remember that most people, when they speak from a place of assuming, a place of their paradigm. And if you don't know what a paradigm is, it's just a multitude of habits, beliefs, and ideas that a person has come to believe, and it's basically shaped the current state of their life, or it has them in a state of their life that they're in right now. Okay. But when you have conversations with people, are you listening for those type of things, or are you listening for the facts of the matter, making sure that you're weighing them against one another? So many times as leaders, we actually not only listen well, but we don't always understand if somebody is actually talking from a place of fact or if they're just talking from a place of opinion or their beliefs or their assumptions about a situation. And the best way that you can do this is don't try to jump to the conclusion of what they have said or are saying. Just listen carefully to get all the information that you absolutely need in order to make sound decisions and or give feedback in an accurate way. You know, so many times when I was first starting out in sales many years ago, I already had my presentation outlined in my mind. I knew what I was going to say. I knew when I was going to say it. I knew how I was going to say it. But when it came time to listen to the other person and me shut up and not speak, I didn't do the best job with that particular area. Mainly is because it wasn't something that came naturally to me at the time. Also, critical thinking is not something that's usually taught in schools, as many of you may know. If you went to a public school in Louisiana like I did, then you probably had that same issue or lack of that same type of training. And so, as you're growing older and as you're becoming more and more an adult, you want to make sure that as you're leading the people around you, you want to pay very close attention to the words they are saying, how they're saying them, and why they're saying them. So start to pay attention to, is this an assumption? Is this a belief? Is this an opinion? And the best way that you can understand if it is what it is just by asking more questions. So deeper clarity and better thinking comes from asking questions that clarify the things that are being said. Oh, I'll say that again. Deeper questions clarify the things that are being said. So don't just assume that the first thing that you hear is 100% the reason why this information has come to light. Usually it came from somebody else, it came from a different experience, it maybe came from a passing conversation. And so much of today's corporate American environment is hearsay and is not actually a source of the information that's the most credible at the time. Now, you'll get people oftentimes that say, well, such and such has been here for 5 years. They've been around, they know everybody, they talk to everybody, so what they say must be 100% true. Well, where did they hear what they heard from? And if they aren't in the position of leadership, meaning they don't have the authority of leadership in your department, in your organization, in your building, then it's very likely that they're just passing along information that wasn't accurate or maybe wasn't supposed to be shared in the way that it's being shared. And so now information is getting left out, information is getting misconstrued, and all it does is create an environment sometimes that can be a lot more hostile and uncomfortable than it needs to be. So what I want you to do as a practice going forward, as you're listening to people and understanding and doing your best to understand where they're coming from, start to ask yourself the question is this a person's assumption about the situation? Are they just communicating a belief about what they feel is best based on what they have been accustomed to in their history and in their life and in their upbringing? or is this just their opinion about it and they're not actually giving you all the facts and data that is associated with this particular subject and idea? So the more you can examine the information that you're getting from a person as you're listening, the better critical thinker you'll become. And ultimately, you'll be able to give more accurate feedback and execute effectively on whatever needs to be done to move forward and progress in this particular area. So I want to encourage you today that many people, and goes for positional leaders as well, many people in positions of leadership, they assume what the person is saying in many cases is accurate, and that's one extreme. The other extreme is that they ignore the person altogether and they don't get the information, so they can't execute accurately and effectively going forward. You don't want to do both of those things. You don't want to do either one of those. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you're asking the right questions, getting absolute clarity on what's happening and what's going on, so that when you do that, you can actually move forward in a way that progresses yourself, progresses your team, and progresses your organization. Okay, there's nothing worse, I believe, that you can do than put yourself in a position where you don't make decisions accurately because you don't have all the information or enough information going forward that could help you. So definitely take this with you today going forward and start to be a better critical thinker and asking deeper thinking questions so that it helps you get more information and you can ultimately become a more effective leader. So that's the big subject I want to talk about today. It's a very short video. Wanted to get straight to it, to the point. I hope you heard something in this video that will help you going forward in making those better decisions and help you ask more clarifying questions so that you can gather more information. If you like this video, I hope that you will actually hit the thumbs up button so that not only it will help the algorithm, but it gets this information out to more people who need information like this, especially if they're leading in corporate America today. Please comment below what is something that you think that helps you or has helped you become a better critical thinker and may help make better decisions as it relates to being a better leader in your area. And lastly, I would ask if you know somebody that will benefit from this information, please share it with them. Hopefully it makes an impact with them as well. And before you go, I would ask that you would subscribe so you can stay up to date on constant videos that we release throughout the week. We always talk about listening, critical thinking, and giving feedback so that it helps you and your team become more effective in this area. And then if you don't need any more help with that, but you still know that you want to get promoted and haven't gotten a promotion in quite some time, we want to help you overcome any reasons and challenges that might be holding you back. So we have a series going right now of reasons why you aren't getting promoted and what you can do to overcome them. So check out those videos as well. I definitely think you'll benefit from that. And so like I said, I'm your leadership coach, Quincy Jackson, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.